Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to have rational algebraic expressions. Rational algebraic expression, it is simply the ratio between two algebraic expressions. It can also be described as quotient of two algebraic expressions, and it is written by P over Q, where P and Q are algebraic expression and Q is not equal to 0. So, technically, rational algebraic expression is also a fraction, no? Para mas madali yung maunawaan. So, fraction siya, pero ang laman ng numerator niya and the denominator, it can be a number, it can be a variable, or it can be a combination of both. No? So, pwedeng may monomial, binomial, polynomials, or any algebraic expression na pwede doon sa fraction na yun. No? So, fraction pa din siya, kaya lang, hindi lang siya number, kundi may kasama na siyang variables. Okay? So, I have here set of fractions, no? Bago tayo mag-proceed doon sa rational algebraic expression. So, gaya nga ng nasabi ko, si rational algebraic expression ay fraction din siya, no? So, since on this video, we're going to have simplifying rational algebraic expression. So, bago yun, alalahanin muna natin how we simplify fraction, no? So, in fraction, masasabi natin na simplest form na siya if wala ng common factor si numerator sa si denominator. No? So, ang dapat nating gawin is kapag may given a fraction, you look for the greatest common factor of the number on the numerator and the denominator at magagamit mo yun to simplify that fraction, no? By dividing the numerator and the denominator by that GCF, no? So that is how we simplify fractions. So gaya nito, we have 4 over 12, no? So we know that 4 and 12 are both divisible by 4, and that is the greatest common factor of these two numbers. So if we divide the numerator and the denominator by 4, we will get 1 over 3. No? So, ganun lang, mag-simplify. So, next we have 24 over 63. So, their common factor is 3. Therefore, we have 8 over 21. So, that's the simplest form of that given fraction. So, how about 15 over 12, no? So, obviously, 15 and 12 are both divisible by 3. So, we can simplify it as 5 over 4. So, this is an improper fraction. You can express it in mixed number, no? Pwede naman. And that is equal to 1 and 1/4. So, pero kung di naman kailangan na i-mixed number, okay lang din, no? Next, we have 9 over 21. So, their common factor is 3. So, this will be 3 over 7. And for 8 over 48, the common factor is 8. So, the simplest form would be 1 over 6, no? Next is for 56 over 72. So, the common factor is 8, no? Common factor nila is 8. And that will be 7 over 9. And for the last one, we have 6 over 18. So the common factor is 6, no? They are both divisible by 6. So therefore, we can express it as 1 over 3, no? Because there are 3 6 dito sa 18. Tatlong 6 ang makukuha natin dyan. Okay, so that is how we simplify fraction, no? So, importante yan para alam nyo kung paano nyo isi-simplify ang rational algebraic expression. Okay? So, let's now have simplifying rational algebraic expression. No? Parang fraction lang din siya, no? Kapag nag-simplify tayo. You have to get the greatest common factor between the numerator and the denominator para sila yung marireduce mo Kasi, di ba, when you divide a number by itself, it is equals to 1. So, pwede tayong gumamit dito ng cancellation method na tinatawag. Actually, hindi naman siya kina-cancel talaga no? Kaya siya nawawala kasi kapag common yung number sa numerator and the denominator, di ba kasi ang fraction is also quotient, no? So that means when you divide that number by itself, it is equals to 1, which yung 1 na yun, pwede naman na natin hindi isulat yun. Kaya naka-cancel na lang talaga siya. No? Pwede na natin i-omit, okay? So now, paano ngayon to? So, for number 1, we have 4x squared over 8x, no? So, ang una mong gagawin, tignan mo muna yung numerical coefficient niya, no? Yung number na kasama. So, in this case, we have 4 over 8. So, that's the numerical coefficient. Now, ma'am, paano pag walang kasamang number yung variable? So, pag walang kasamang number yung variable, or yung algebraic expression, automatically may 1 doon, no? Automatically yun. Hindi pwede maging 0 kasi this number and this variable are being multiplied. So, kung magiging 0 ang numerical coefficient niya, ibig sabihin 0 na yung mismong expression. Kasi diba, any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So, kaya kapag variable lang, may 1 talaga doon, no? Automatically. But in this case, we have 4 over 8. So, una mo munang i-simplify yung numerical coefficient. So, 4 over 8. So, the simplest form, that is equals to 1 half. Okay? Di ba? Tama, no? Because 4 and 8 are divisible by 4. Okay? So, the next thing you have to look for is the variable, no? Tingnan mo kung ano yung variable na meron pareho si numerator at si denominator. So, in this case, pareho silang may x, no? Pero magkaiba yung exponent. So, numerator, we have x squared. So, the exponent is 2. So, denominator, the exponent is 1, no? Ma'am, wala naman nakalagay. Bakit may 1 dyan? So, automatically, in every variable, pag walang exponent, 1 yun, no? It cannot be 0 kasi kapag 0 yung exponent, the expression will be equal to 1. Kaya hindi pwedeng 0 yun. Kaya, may invisible 1 dyan, no? Okay, so anong gagawin natin sa variable, no? So actually, you can apply the law of exponent, no? The quotient of power. So, lagay natin dito sa gilid, no? Okay, so in applying the law of exponent, x squared over x, so kapag mataas yung exponent ng nasa numerator, so you just copy the variable and you have to subtract the exponent, which will give us x, no? Sa law of exponent yan. But what if malito ka na, hindi mo maalala, no? Kasi kayo kasi mga bata, kapag hindi masyadong importante sa palagay nyo, nakakalimutan nyo kaagad, no? So, one thing you can do, ang pwede mong gawin is tignan mo yung exponent, no, ng variable. So, sa numerator, we have 2 and sa denominator, we have 1. So, tignan mo ano yung may mataas na exponent. Yung nasa numerator ba o yung nasa denominator? So, in this case, mas mataas yung exponent nung nasa numerator, no? No? So, kapag ganyan, since nasa numerator yung mataas na exponent, doon napupunta yung variable, which is x. And what will happen to the exponent? So, you're going to subtract the exponent. No? So, 1 times x, so kahit wala na yung 1, so you will have x, 2 minus 1 is 1, so kahit wala na yung 1 doon, so the final answer will be x over 2. No? So that is how we get the simplest form of a given rational algebraic expression. That is if and only if the numerator and the denominator ay monomial lang, no? Single term lang ang meron sila. Okay? So, pwede mo rin naman tong i-factor, no? Sa variable. So, balik tayo dun sa variable. So, pwede rin naman yung ganito. Okay, so let me show you. So we have x squared over x, no? So, pwede mong paghiwalayin, no? Pagbiyakin mo sa x squared, so magiging x times x. So, over x. And then, pwede kang mag-cancellation, no? Because since naka-factor sila, pwede tayong mag-cancel or you divide x over x. So, that is 1, no? Ang matitira na lang is 1 times x, no? Sa ilalim, 1 lang din yan. Pero, di ba, in any expression, pag ang denominator ay 1, pwede mo lang tanggalin. So, still, it will give you the final answer of x, no? So, same pa rin naman. So, pwede mo yung pag-iwalay. Kaya lang, what if the exponent na binigay sa'yo ay 8, 10, 12? So, di ba masyadong mahaba, no? Kapag, factor mo pa, tapos tsaka ka magka-cancel. So, mahaba yun. Kaya ganun na lang gawin nyo. Tingnan nyo na lang kung saan yung may mataas na exponent, doon si variable, no? Okay, so let's have the second example. So, we have 9b cubed over 6b raised to 5. So, same process, unahin mong isimplify yung numerical coefficient, and that is 9 over 6. So, the simplest form will be 3 over 2. Okay, and then tingnan mo, so obviously, they have a b, parehong may b, pero the question is, saan ilalagay? Is it on the numerator or sa denominator? Okay, so in this case, sa denominator, no? Kasi mas mataas si 5 kaysa kay 3. So, we have b, tapos subtract ng exponent. So, that will be b raised to 5 minus 3. So, let's now simplify. So, we have 3 over 2b squared. And that will be our final answer. Okay? So, let's have another example. So, we have 12w squared z over 8w cubed z cubed. Okay, so same process. What is 12 over 8? Okay, so that is 3 over 2. Si w saan? Taas o baba? That's it. So, sa baba, no? Kasi mas mataas si 3 kaysa kay 2. So, we have 3 minus 2. And si z, taas o baba? So, sa baba din. And that will be 3 minus 1. Okay? So, let's now simplify. So, we have 3 on the numerator. And on the denominator, we got 2w z squared. And that will be our final answer. Okay. So, let's now have the next one. So, same process, kept the simplest form of 6 over 12, and that will give us 1/2. No? They are both divisible by 12. So, sa numerator, parehong may h at mas mataas sa exponent ng nasa numerator, no? Kaysa kay denominator. So, that will be h raised to 4 minus 3. Now, ma'am, paano si D? Wala siyang kapareho sa denominator. So, kung wala siyang pareho, edi wag na natin siyang galawin. So, kung nasan siya, doon lang siya. Hindi siya magagalaw. So, we have D. Okay? So, then simplify. So, 1 times H. So, you don't have to write 1 na. So, we have H D over 2. No? And that will be the final answer. So, di ba, no? Madali lang. Kayang-kaya. Now, paano naman pag ganito, ma'am? Binomial na yun nasa ilalim. So, what are we going to do? Okay. So, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, na yung pag-simplify ng rational algebraic expression ay parang pag-simplify ng fraction, no? We look for the common factors, no? Na pwede na rin tanggalin. So, ganun din dito. So, kapag ang case ay polynomial na, no? So, what you need to do first is to look at the numerical coefficients of all the terms on the numerator and the denominator, no? So all the numerical coefficients, we have 5 on the numerator and 10, 15 on the denominator. So what is the greatest common factor among those numbers? Correct. So that is 5, no? So ang gagawin natin ngayon dito sa denominator ay i-factor out si 5, no? So magkakaroon tayo ng parentheses, no? That show the factors of this expression, no? 10a cubed minus 15a squared. So what about the numerator? So since 5 naman ang common factor, so 5 na rin to. So we don't need to factor na, no? Kasi 5 naman na siya. So which is similar na dun sa common factor. Next naman ay yung A, no? A. So, syempre, dapat common factor din nila. Yung A, no? Paano natin nakukuha yung common factor pagdating sa variable, no? So, tignan mo, ilan ba yung A na kaya nilang ibigay, na mabibigay ng lahat ng terms na yan? So, dito sa itaas, meron siyang A squared. So, may dalawa siyang A, no? Dito sa baba, yung isa may tatlong A, and then yung sumunod may dalawang A. So, ilang A ang kaya nilang ibigay na mabibigay nila lahat, no? ng patas, ng equal yung bilang ng A. So, ilan? Okay, so that is A squared, no? Kasi, itong si 5A squared, so hanggang A squared kaya niya ibigay. Si 10A cubed, A squared kaya niya ibigay. Si 15A squared kaya niya rin ibigay, no? So, wag lang mag-A cube, no? Wag lang mag-A raised to 3 kasi hindi na mabibigay ng dalawang to. Kasi dalawang A lang meron sila, no? Okay, so that's why A squared yung kanilang common factor. So, isulat na rin natin sa taas yung A squared. Okay, so makikita mo, no? May pareho na silang factors. Okay, so, pero bago ang lahat, alamin muna natin yung isa pang factor nitong binomial na to after we factor out this expression. No? So, what you need to do, just like in factoring polynomials, divide mo lang each term by that common factor, no? Para makuha mo yung factor dito. So, 10 divided by 5, so that will be 2. So, kay A cube, kumuha ko ng A squared. So, may natirang isang A. Minus 15 divided by 5, that is 3. Si A squared, kinuhanan ko ng A squared. So, wala nang natira. Okay, so that's it, no? And then, pwede na nating i-cancel kung ano yung common factor nila. And obviously, di ba, on your screen, pareho silang may 5, pareho silang may A squared. So, maka-cancel mo lang yan again kapag naka-factor, no? Ma'am, wala nang natira sa taas kasi natanggal na si 5A squared. So, nagkakamali ka, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, yung 5 over 5, that means it is equal to 1. So, therefore, may 1 pa dyan. No? So, ang final answer will be 1 over 2A minus 3. So, that is our final answer. Okay, so next, number 6. We have 8m cubed n all over 12m squared n cubed minus 16m n squared. So, same ng procedure ng ginawa natin dito sa number 5. What will be the common factor among 8, 12, and 16? Okay, so correct, no? The common factor will be 4. So, let's now have the parentheses. So, 4 will be the common factor. So, si 8, wawatakin din natin siya, no? Ipa-factor din natin siya. So, the factors will be 2 times 4, no? Which is equals to 8. Kasi kailangan natin iwalay si 4. Kasi para mamaya, pag nag-cancel tayo, madali mo nang makikita, no? So, next, ilan yung m na kaya nilang ibigay, no? Nang pare-pareho yung bilang na may ibibigay nila. So, isa lang, no? Isang m lang. Kasi ito, iisang m lang meron siya. So, hindi na siya pwedeng magbigay ng higit sa isa. So, isang m lang. So next sa n, ilan ang pwede? Since lahat naman sila may n, so isa lang din, no? Kasi dito sa numerator, isang n lang meron siya, no? So factor na natin yung numerator. So hiwalay natin yung isang m na kailangan natin mamaya. So that will be m squared kasi 2 plus 1 is 3. And then hiwalay si m. Okay, so now, dito na tayo sa denominator. So, same procedure, no? Divide mo yung terms by the given factor, no? So, divide natin to by 4mn as well as this one. So, 12 divided by 4, that will give us 3. So, si m squared, kinuhanan ko ng isang m. So, may isa pang matitira. Si n cubed, kinuhanan ko ng isang n. So, may dalawa pang matitira. Minus, so 16 divided by 4 is 4. Si m, kinuhanan ko ng m, so wala na natira. Si n squared, kinuhanan ko ng n, so may natira sa kanya, which is n. Okay? So, and then from here, pwede na tayo mag-cancel ng common factor, no? So, si 4 factor yan, so pwede na natin tanggalin. Then, isang m at isang n. So, ano na ngayon natira sa taas? So, ang natira ay 2 times n squared. Tapos sa ilalim, we have 3m n squared minus 4m. So, therefore, our final answer will be 2m squared over 3m n squared minus 4m. And that's it. So, that's how you simplify rational algebraic expression kapag polynomial na ang given. Okay? So, next, same procedure ng kanina, no? But this time, binomial na rin yung nasa numerator. And sa denominator, binomial din. So, ganun din. Tingnan mo yung numerical coefficient. And then, ano ang common factor niya, no? So, since binomial na yung nasa taas, so, naka-parenthesis na rin ang kanyang factors, no? Okay. So, yes, the common factor is 3. So, we have 3 here, no? Each on the numerator and the denominator, no? So, 3 ang common factor nila, no? So, let's factor it out. Next, ilang x ang kaya nilang ibigay? Si 36 may tatlong x, si 24 may dalawang x, si 6 may dalawang x, and si 3 may isang x. Okay, so isang x lang, no? Kasi ito hanggang isang x lang siya, no? So, wala na tayong makukuha sa kanya ibang x. So, isang x lang. Okay, so we now have the greatest common factor. And no, not really the greatest, no? Para sa numerator. Pero it is the greatest common factor para dito sa lahat, no? Sa numerator and sa denominator. So now, let's divide 36 divided by 3. So that is 12. And then, yung x cube, kinuha na ko ng isang x. So, may matitirang dalawang x. Minus 24 divided by 3. So, that is 8. Si x squared, kinuha na ko ng isang x. So, may isa pang x. And then, next, 6 divided by 3. So, that is 2. Si x squared, kinuha na ko ng isang x. So, x na lang. So, 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then, si x, kinuha na ko ng isang x. So, wala na, no? Wala na tira. Okay. Wala na siyang x, no? Okay, so then, cancel yung common factor. And the remaining will be 12x squared minus 8x all over 2x minus 1. No? So, that is our final answer. Okay? So, let's now move on to number 8, no? So, for number 8, medyo challenging, no? Because your knowledge on factoring polynomials ay kailangan sa part na to, no? Kasi these are special binomials, no? So, dito sa numerator, these are what we call the difference of two squares, no? The difference of two squares. So, that means x squared and 9 are both perfect square number. So, let's now get the square root, no? I-square root natin yan to get yung pinanggalingan nila, no? So, saan ba sila nanggaling? Because we need those numbers So for x squared nanggaling siya kay x, si 9 nanggaling kay 3. No? And then, after makuha, we know that in difference of two squares, the factors are product of two binomials. No? At ang laman ng binomial are the sum and the difference of the two numbers, no? Which is x and 3. So we have x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay? So next, dito naman tayo sa denominator. So x cubed and 27 are both perfect cube number, no? So that means we can apply the difference of two cubes, no? Technique in factoring polynomials. So now, saan nanggaling si x cube? So sa x. And si 27, the cube root is 3 also, no? So let's now factor it out. So we have a binomial and a trinomial factor for the difference of two cubes, no? So since minus to, ang binomial factor natin will be x minus 3. And then for the trinomial, so first term should be the square of the first number. So we have x squared. And then plus the product of the two numbers. So we have 3x because 3 times x is 3x. And then this the square, no, of the second number. Square means you multiply it by itself. So we got 9. No? Okay, and then as you can see, they have common factor, which is x minus 3. No? So that means we can cancel it out, no? And the final answer would be x plus 3 all over x squared plus 3x plus 9. So that will be our final answer. Okay? So let's now have the last two examples, no, na gagamitan pa rin natin ng ating skills on factoring polynomials. So first, numerator, we have b squared plus 7b plus 10. And this trinomial is a factorable trinomial. And remember, factoring trinomial gives us two binomials as factor, no? So to factor this, so for b squared, we know that is b times b. So that will be the first term of our two binomials. And then, ano ba yung dalawang number that when we multiply, you'll get 10. And when we add, you'll get positive 7. Okay, correct, no? So that is 5 and 2, no? Both positive, no? So that will be b plus 5 and b plus 2. Okay, so how about this one, no? We have b squared minus 4. So difference pa din siya ng 2 squares. So si b squared nanggaling kay b, si 4 nanggaling kay 2. So the factor would be dalawang binomial. So that will be b plus 2 and b minus 2. So, ayan na, no? Mapapansin mo na, may common factor sila, which is b plus 2. So, pwede na natin i-omit yan. And our final answer would be b plus 5 over b minus 2. So, that will be our final answer. Okay? Now, for the last number, we have y cubed. No? Okay, so we have y cubed minus 8. So that's difference of two cubes over y squared minus 4y plus 4. So this is a factorable trinomial. So for the difference of two cubes, the factors are binomial and a trinomial. So y cubed pinagmulan, that is y. Si 8 ang pinagmulan is 2. So that will be y minus 2. So square of the first number plus the product of two numbers plus the square of the second number, which is 4. Next, factorable trinomial. So y squared, wala tayong problema. That is y times y. So now, Ano ba yung long number that when you multiply, you'll get 4, positive 4, and when you add, you'll get negative 4. Okay, so that will be negative 2 times negative 2, di ba? Kasi pag inad mo yan, parehong negative, so the sum should be negative. So we have y minus 2 and y minus 2. And obviously, from that given, pwede na natin i-omit si y minus 2. So because that will be equal to 1. So and final answer would be y squared plus 2y plus 4 all over y minus 2. Okay, so that's it. So that is how we simplify the rational algebraic expressions. Okay? Okay, so now it's your turn. So just try to answer the following expressions. No? So try to simplify it on your own. Okay, so siguro let me give you the answer, no? So, and then check mo yung gawa mo sa final answer na ipapakita ko, no? Kasi if you got the correct or final answer, so most probably the process that you did would be the same. No? So, it would be correct, no? Kasi tama yung naging final answer mo. So, I'll give the final answer and then kayo nang bahala sa solution mo. So, at least may guide kayo if tama ba yung ginawa niyo or hindi. Okay? So, for number 1, we have 7s over 6. So, for number 2, we have w squared over 4. For number 3, that will be 2m minus 3 all over 1 minus 4m squared. And then for number 4, we have 4p, no. We have ab minus 3, ab minus 3 all over 4 plus 5a squared b squared, no? So that will be the denominator. Medyo mahaba kasi no, dalawang letter. And then for number 5, it will be h plus 2 all over h minus 3. Next, and for number 6, that will be n plus 5 over n minus 5. And then for the last number, so we have c squared minus 5c plus 25 all over c minus 9. Okay, so those are the final answers. So you can check your work given this final answer as your guidance. No? So guide nyo no, on how will you simplify the following rational algebraic expression. No? So that's the end. So that's the end of this video. So thank you everyone. So I hope may natutunan kayo kahit papaano sa video na to. So thank you everyone and God bless and stay safe and healthy as always. Bye!